Goosebumps is a brand new TV series that just wrapped up its final episode of season one on both Disney Plus and Hulu. The film is developed, directed by a couple episodes, but created by both Rob Letterman and Nicholas Stoller. Stoller is a famous director of the Neighbors films, and also just did the Apple TV Plus show, which I reviewed earlier this year, Platonic. His other co-developer is Rob Letterman, who actually directed the first Goosebumps film back in 2015. This show has nothing to do with the original two Goosebumps films in 2016 and 2018. This Goosebumps film takes place in a small town, a group of 5 high schoolers. You have Isaiah, played by Zach Morris, Margot, played by Issa Briones, James, played by Miles McKenna. You have Isabella, played by Anna Yi Puig, and Lucas, played by Will Price, try to stop the rampage of supernatural forces that are affecting their town. The powers get unleashed as a new English teacher, Mr. Bratt, who's played by Justin Long, enters the former Biddle house, a kid who's died while he was in high school in his own very house. And then Slappy obviously will take over in the show. This show is 10 episodes long, with the longest episode being the first episode of the series in 48 episodes, with the shortest episode being 37 minutes. Welcome back to a brand new TV show review here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnerberg. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I talk movies, TV shows, movie rankings, and box office. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on this Goosebumps series? First of all, if you've seen it, did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think they should continue with the show moving forward? If you've not seen it, first of all, did you even know this show released? Are you a fan or not of the Goosebumps mythology? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, please like the video, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. So to give you guys a heads up before I also start my review, I will not be going into any spoilers. The way I go about it is usually on my TV show reviews that are season ones. I don't like to talk spoilers. If we get into season 2, 3, or 4 of a series, that I do talk spoilers. So I am going to go season 1 non-spoiler review here of Goosebumps, giving my general thoughts on the show. And what I'll say for this show is that there are times that this show is very enjoyable. I think the reason why the show is watchable for the most part is the group of 5 kids that are kind of the leads of the show, with Lucas, Isabella, James, Margot, and Isaiah. The 5 of them are all interesting, and they all, more importantly, have fantastic chemistry together. That is something that you just don't see a lot, especially in these type of shows. And also, it's a 5-person led main ensemble. Now, this is a ensemble for sure, because what also it becomes evident in the show is that it is the parents of these characters. They kind of set them up for them to have to solve their parents' issues. And you have a lot of performers like that. You have Rachel Harris in the show, probably the most famous one of the parents. She plays Nora Parker. You have Rob Hubel, Leonard Roberts, as some of the main parents in the series. And the 5 kids, though, the show is on their shoulders. And I think that they were well cast, and they, again, most importantly, had really good chemistry together. And that's hard to do with a 5-person led group. And you can see how hard it is in Hollywood even to find 2 people who have chemistry with each other, more or less 5 people. And I do think that all 5 actors and characters have tremendous chemistry together, which really helps the show. My favorite 2 performances of the main group by far, I do think, though, is Zach Morris and Issa Briones, who hopefully I'm saying her name right. They play Margot and Isaiah. They are neighbors. Isaiah is an up-and-coming football player, but due to supernatural issues in the opening episodes, he gets injured and now is nervous about not knowing what his future will hold. And he's neighbors with Margot, and they kind of joke throughout the show. They are kind of someone who are very close to each other, but they should be in a relationship, but they're not for some reason that they both can't explain. Morris is terrific. I think he should have been probably front and center more than some of the other characters on the show. Morris has the most charisma and leading, acting-wise, the most leading performance of the 5 of them. He's really terrific in the show, especially in the first couple episodes of the series. He's really terrific. I think I was rooting for Zach the most. Margot is also Isaiah. Margot is also a really good character who I think got better in the second half of the show than she did in the first half of the series. But the both of them have the best chemistry of the cast. And those are the two characters that I cared about the most of the cast. Justin Long is also a really nice addition. He brings kind of that fun energy that I think Jack Black brought to the first two Goosebumps films now 8 years ago. Now, Long is nowhere near as charismatic as Jack Black, but Justin Long does bring the right bit of energy that the show really desperately needed from other side characters outside of the kids. He's kind of the only adult character that I thought was remotely interesting in the entire series. I do think the voice of Slappy and the puppet look of Slappy, I really actually do enjoy in this series. I do enjoy the movie version more, but still, they actually kind of make Slappy look a bit more villainous with his puppet look in this show than I think they did in the movies. And I said, this movie does have a good childlike energy to it. They kind of go for some horror scares. They weren't for me, but I did feel like they had a good child energy, quickness to the show that I really did enjoy. And I do really think that the first 8 episodes, I think, just should have been season 1. Let's get into a couple of my main problems with this show. One is that it's just not scary at all. I don't even think it's even that scary for kids. I think if this show really wanted to go into the scary territory, I don't think maybe Disney was the right idea for this, because you've seen Disney not really go all in on horror films unless it's under the Fox umbrella. I do think this show could have been really scary. What doesn't help is that both it wasn't scary 1 and 2, this show just did not have the budget for the visual effects and the CGI they need for a lot of the things going on in the show. There are times where it looks very well made, and then there are times it just feels like a Disney Channel original movie with some of the visual effects. I mean, there's one scene where they go in like inside a book for a flashback, and it is such a horrible, or especially there's one scene where let's say one of the characters is going down something to get into a different room, and it has horrible CGI and visual effects that kind of pulls me right out of the scene. And I do feel like if they want to continue with the show moving forward, I do feel like they do need to up the budget to get better visual effects. Goosebumps is about creatures, puppeteers, and stuff like that. They need more better visual effects, and both the first 2 movies and now this show don't really have that many good CGI effects. So I do think that needs to be improved upon if this show continues. Another part, I just didn't care about any of the adult characters in the show. They try to give backstory on why they're important to the story, but both the performances and the characters themselves, I really wasn't interested. Other than like Nora, played by Rachel Harris, she was like the only adult of the parents that I enjoyed, but the parent storyline has never worked. And I think the big thing why the show also does not work on a grand scheme overall is I think the show just feels tacked on. The last 2 episodes feel like it could have been they could have made an entire season out of the last 2 episodes of the show and kind of spread it out, gave it more time. But after the 8th episode, I kind of thought to myself, this is not a great show. That's an okay show. It's watchable. It has a satisfying ending, and it leaves room for season 2. And then I realized, oh yeah, there's 2 more episodes. And I just feel like they gave there's too many inconveniences and plot armor and dumb decisions that make us have to have 2 episodes left. I just didn't feel like the 2 episodes flowed correctly, because I'm not going to give into spoilers, but the decision that a character makes, he just gets himself out of a situation and he puts himself right back in an even worse situation so he can have a thrilling last 2 episodes. It just, from a logic perspective, really wanes with one character decision that makes us have to have 2 more episodes that I just wasn't a big fan of. The show does leave room for a season 2, but I think they should have ended it with a cliffhanger in episode 8 than they did at the cliffhanger ending of episode 10. So overall, this is not one of the best shows of the year, but it's not one of the worst shows. If you're a fan like me of the source material of Goosebumps, you'll definitely get some enjoyment in the show, but it definitely doesn't hit that great tier or anything like that. So overall, I'm going to give Goosebumps a 2.5 out of 5, a 50% for me for Goosebumps on Disney Plus and Hulu, so you can watch on either streaming service. What are your thoughts on Goosebumps? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos are coming to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon.